Okay. So I was talking about just a couple things that I've been noticing, saying with our men on social media, as well as saying in my real life, saying dealings with saying people, where there is a refusal to uh self-reflect.
Oh yeah.
Like these dudes is moving hell and earth, not to saying, be the problem. And the narrative that's being pushed now, that as a man, all you gotta do is pay the bills. You ain't gotta do shit else in a relationship.
They really think that. They really think that. It's crazy.
Right. And my thing is, you're not getting the results, but you don't want to admit you're not gonna get the results because what you asking for is fucked up. But then there's the reason, let them tell it, the reason they're not getting what they want is because the women don't know how to be wives. But if you don't know how to be a husband, how the hell the woman don't know how to be a wife?
You know, I don't really have I don't have um friends when it comes to these conversations.
Mm-hmm.
Because I ain't friends to the men or the women. But I
Okay.
will say this. When I initially started on social media, because I've been, I call it in the trenches. I've been in the trenches with black women as far as some of the decisions that they made, the way they
Mm-hmm.
rear their children, the way they carry themselves. I've been up all night while they going through.
Okay.
I done talked to women about whether or not they should put dude on child support. I done talked to women, baby daddies, to get the man to take care of, support his children. I
Mm-hmm.
done had women's children in my house. I done been up all night when they done miscarried or had an abort. You name it, I've been there, been through it with the women. Some things I've experienced with women myself, but a lot of the situations that I have basically held women's hands through, I have personally haven't gone through.
Mm-hmm.
I was just a help to them. So when I had my platform was on these women, the choices they made and the things that they talk about. And I'm talking about I wasn't necessarily nice about it because when I seen the women talk to each other, it was always with kid gloves and basically rubbing butt hurt cream on self-inflicted wounds. That's stupid.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not fit to do that. And I used to go in. And then I took a break.
Okay.
And then I came back and I went to go listen to the men speak. And after sitting there listening to them men talk, I said, ain't no way in here. I'm finna sit over here and keep talking to these women like this. Cause this is insane. Because just like you feel like there is an issue with the way she's doing things and her reasoning behind things, she got a story to tell too. And you not listening to what she got to say, and the stuff that you saying is ridiculous, and the things that you are doing are ridiculous. And how do you think she's gonna react? Like a lot of the stuff that they say and they do, they think these women just supposed to take it on the chin. And one thing that I noticed from sitting around the space and listening to the men talk, and it really hurt me to see
Mm-hmm.
this, is that the value of the women is predicated upon how much abuse they are willing to stand. And that's not okay. You
Really?
can't call women masculine and say they need to stay in their feminine frame and you constantly putting them in struggle situations and abusing them and think they're gonna remain soft. They don't make a woman soft.
Okay. Situations such as, just give us some quick examples.
Oh boy. Um it be around all these talking points. All the talking points get on my nerves.
Mm-hmm.
Um, let's say let's talk about helping the man, right? I
Mm-hmm.
had this one friend. Her husband had he was in the military
Mm-hmm.
and he got medically discharged. Okay. And so They went through all these different things to find out what was wrong with him. Found out, what was going on. He was able to work and everything, but he wouldn't do nothing else. He would do absolutely nothing. So that left the burden of everything on her. Now, he was like, oh, well, she was spending all this money. And true enough, she was overspending at times. But at the same time, how you just gonna sit on the couch all day, every day for over 2 years and think that y'all relationship is going to stay healthy? You're not doing anything. And you're saying the reason why we in this is because you overspend. No, her overspending, like instead of shopping maybe at, Kroger, she went to Whole Foods. No, that's not the reason that she is y'all in debt and y'all having a hard time catching bills. That's not the reason. You are sitting on the couch and you're not doing anything, sir.
So okay, so the debt started after he sat down. There wasn't any debt before he sat down.
There was debt before he sat down, but they
Okay.
was at the point of paying the debt down. And
Okay.
then when he sat down and he didn't do nothing,
Hmm.
he got out of control.
Okay. So you said he was in the military, so he didn't get like a severance or no kind of saying pension check or nothing.
Yeah, he had got a severance, but what happens is you don't get it at like 100%. You get a percentage of it.
Hmm.
So he wasn't getting like a full pay. And then on top of that, he wasn't doing nothing. And it was okay when they didn't know nothing with what was going on with him. But after he done went through everything and they figured out, like, girl, the man sat up there and told the woman that he thought he had cancer. Had went to the doctor and got cleared and didn't tell her. Yeah, yeah, she ran there thinking her husband got cancer. She freaking out. We talking and everything, and it just so happens that about 6 months after the fact, she found a paper in the house, and it had a clean bill of health on it. And she was like, "This nigga."
See,
Man.
I wanted,
Hey,
I
hey,
wanted
B, what's going on, girl?
Hey, I wanted to chime in because it's such a good conversation. But culture invasion actually he hit the nail on the head. That's exactly what I was gonna touch upon, because everything in life is a choice. Like even when it comes to you mentioning like some men have the mindset of they pay all the bills in the household, so they feel like they don't have to contribute in
Hmm.
other ways. That's still based on the choices of that man and that woman to stay together. Some women, they don't want anything else from a man but for him to pay the bills in the household, and then he go buy his business. He go to his shed, she make the meals, and they're both happy. Like even in the situation that you just mentioned, in regards to the lady sitting around, I guess, with the military man and her being unhappy about them making spending decisions. I always feel like we always have the free will in life to make our own decisions. If you become unhappy with something in regards to your partner, you have a conversation with it. You try to make some constructive ways to figure out how to make improvements. If things don't change, then you have to make other adjustments in your life. That's one thing for me that I refuse to sit around and do. Like
Thank you, little Richie.
there's
That
some
ain't
women
love.
who, yeah, there's some women who sit around like for 7 years and they be the battered woman, and they be the the and what the niggas call do women that ride or die. Like just because she sat
Hmm.
down and took the abuse for 8 years, I don't blame him or her. Like that, they both wanted to sit there and be there for that long. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Unless it becomes obviously a DV situation or something extensive to that sort. But honestly, I do feel like we all as humans have to take responsibility for our own lives, whether we're in unhappy situations, whether we're in slightly uncomfortable situations. Every situation, there's a possible solution. People just got to be willing to take that route and move towards that. I don't believe in the victim mindset at all on any claims. Now, it's not easy to just get up and just run away when you have responsibilities and obligations, and when you get
Hmm.
married, you have a partner. Obviously, there's a lot more to consider, but it ain't it. I don't think it's important in life to just sit and be unhappy either. Like that. That's no recipe for
For
a
life,
healthy
right?
relationship. So
Okay. So let me ask y'all this, because I was talking about a stream that I was watching where the men were saying that the problem with us black women is we don't know how to be wives, but nobody wanted to quantify how they were qualified to be husbands.
I do feel like men are qualified to declare how they want to be wives without defining themselves as husbands, because
Mhm,
that has to be embodied. It's kind of
mhm,
like like it's kind of like pointing a finger, like, oh, but you don't do this, like, but if we
mhm.
focus on the women, let's focus on the women at this point. But those men cannot be oblivious when women need to ask the important questions, like you said, like, hey, let's
Okay.
focus on dudes as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like it goes
So,
both ways.
so what does I'm gonna ask you like I asked you is what does that look like for you? You meet a guy, you know what I'm saying, y'all vibing, y'all, you know what I'm saying, trying to take it to the next level, and you want to ask him, you know what I'm saying, what is that he's looking for in a wife?
What do you mean by that? Like, if a man asks me that question?
No, I'm saying you okay, so let's you know what I'm saying say that, you know what I'm saying, he's talking about marriage and all, but he hasn't given you what he you know what I'm saying, what he's looking for in a wife. And you want to know. So let's say you ask him and
Oh,
he
like if
give
I'm
you like
asking
a
him, yeah.
yeah, he give you all generic ass answers. You know what I'm saying? Like stuff that's just like baseline. Then y'all,
Mhm.
let's say then you'll say y'all get married and now he wants to, you know what I'm saying, start complaining about what you don't do. But when you asked him what it was that you're saying him for him as a man himself, not what he heard other people saying they want, they need, what you should be looking for. You asked him, what do you need from me for this to be? And he tell you some shit and then you do it and then he come back with the well, I mean that ain't really what I'm needing.
Well, I would have to reiterate to him who the hell I am. Because when you decide to ask me to marry you, you're understanding who I am, and you're choosing me as a human being to be your
Mhm.
partner in life. Now,
Right.
granted, I can accommodate. Let's say you don't like eating eggs and you like waffles, whatever the case may be. Okay, I can make you waffles, but I'm still in a place in my life where when you came to me, you seen me eating eggs every morning. Like, you see what I'm saying? You seen who I was as a person. So it's one thing to try to formulate somebody into who you think they should be, and there's also a point to where you have to accept the person that you chose as well. You know,
Okay.
there's always a dude's like, oh, my crazy ass baby mama. Oh, you knew that bitch was crazy before you put a
That
baby in her.
okay, that part. So
Stuff like
I did a stream a couple months ago where I was like, when you by the time you get to the altar and you say I do, you have made a formal declaration that you are cool with what's standing next to you.
that. hundred
So you
percent.
then cannot come and try to renegotiate the terms of the contract because you just sat here in front of all these damn people and said I'm cool with this.
Right now, I
They're
believe
looking at
this.
me like
Right.
I'm crazy.
Right. You at that point when you're standing at the altar, you're accepting the cake that's in front of you. Now, if you want to add sprinkles, maybe, add a little bit of frosting on top, but that cake that's sitting in front of you, that's the
Right.
cake.
You got yellow cake. You can't, you know what I'm saying, sit there and buy the yellow cake, take the yellow cake
Right.
home, put it in the refrigerator, and then come back 2 weeks later and be like, I don't even want yellow cake no more. I
I
want
want red
chocolate cake.
velvet now.
You fucked up now. You done fucked up. What we doing? You got yellow cake. You need to put some
And see,
chocolate frosting on it, put some cream cheese frosting on it, do something, but you got yellow cake. That's what this is.
and a man told me this a long time ago. He said that well, somebody who I was dating, he said that women are insatiable, women are hard to be satisfied. But I
I don't
feel like
believe that.
men run into that as well, and I feel like, honestly, women make a lot of accommodations even in the midst of their unsatisfactions. Like, if a
Really?
woman
Okay.
realizes that a man might have 8 of her checkpoints instead of all 10, she'll take the 8 and be like, all right, he ain't got 2. But I feel like dudes are more strict when it comes to certain things. They want all 10. They want all 10
See,
of these.
but you know what? I think you know what I'm saying in previous times that was happening on both sides. But I think a lot of this YouTube manosphere shit is pushing that, you know what I'm saying, narrative that you got to have all 10, but nobody's looking at what they're asking for. All three of us, you know what I'm saying, we're all women, we all black women, we all like men, we all, you know what I'm saying, desiring to be married if we're not already married. That don't mean what we need from our husbands is gonna be the exact same thing. It might
Exactly.
be some shit I need that you ain't even thought about, V. It could be something you're saying Queen getting from her husband. we ain't thought about, or something you want from your husband. And I'm like, oh yeah, no, I can't fuck with that. But
Yeah.
what they're pushing is that I'm seeing is this is the list. Ain't no deviating from the list. And if you don't get everything on this list the way this shit is outlined, she trash.
But and you know what's
That's
more so a
bullshit.
problem with that? They're not a lot of men, especially with this manosphere shit, and you know, men going their own way. I feel like a lot of men aren't standing on who they are as a person, because sometimes
I don't think they
women
know.
are looking for things outside of themselves. Sometimes I
Yeah,
like
they don't know.
exactly.
They don't know. They have no example. They not
Yeah.
looking for examples. You know, the examples they got are trash. So they don't know. So it's a bunch of men that don't even know how to be men trying to dictate to women what they supposed to be doing. The difference between the men and us is we had examples,
Mm. Mm.
which is why they sitting up here looking at us in a certain way. Like, why is we having conversations about 50-50? The only reason why we having a 50-50 conversation because the only person you saw make sure that the bills was paid and food was on the table and clothes was on your back was your mama.
Mm. Oh
So now
yeah,
you looking at the woman you with like she's supposed to be your mama. I tell women all the time, they got mad. I remember I had a stream and the dudes that was in there got pissed off because I said, you don't give no man no money. Under no
right.
circumstance do you give him any money. I
Now see,
learned that from even like I never gave no dude no money when I was dating. But even with my son, when he got to a certain age, like the boy wasn't doing nothing. And I was
mm,
like, what is wrong with this shit? I ain't raised this boy like this, but the thing was, I wasn't giving him enough. It wasn't enough pressure put on him. When I
Mm.
started making him do stuff, I thought I want to coddle him because I'm his mother. And then I'm like, no, you need to do this, and this. And I put this load on him, and the boy thrived. I was like, we treat them like we they mama. You know what I'm saying? Oh, he can't pay. Look, if the lights gonna get cut off, the girl buy some candles and let them see. I don't care if you got the money in your account. Light that candle and let him see you sitting in there by that damn candlelight. I bet he won't let them lights get cut off again.
Mm.
sometimes you gotta feel it.
You ain't know. Okay, so hold up. T Peterson, you still here? Drop a one in the chat if you still here. He put a comment in, and I want to touch on this because this is another thing that's said often. Men want respect, femininity, chastity, cooperation, youth, beauty, and fertility.
How
This
the
is
hell
what
you want
men are looking
fertility?
for. Huh?
This sorry, I was gonna say, how the hell somebody want fertility? Like that's a character trait? Like this
I
the
mean,
shit that I be
listen.
talking about. Like
Okay, so this is my thing. The femininity aspect. Now, I've asked a couple of, you know what I'm saying, men, um, is there a baseline for femininity? I mean, are there like certain aspects that have to be there, or is femininity going to vary from man to man? What y'all think?
it's always going to vary from man to man. I truly think everything is based on perspective and everything is based on what an individual wants. Now, there are certain characteristics that are common that stand out to men that men look and identify and they say, oh, that's
Okay.
feminine. You know, oh, that's, you know, that's something that females do. Like sometimes men attribute cooking or a woman getting her nails done or some physical features or a
Mm.
woman having a soft voice. Like there are common traits that some men attribute to women being feminine, but those all of those traits don't equate for the same men. Some men like women who speak up, who have a mind of their own, who have something to mentally contribute to themselves in their lives to help them sharpen themselves mentally. Some men do enjoy that. Now, some men they don't want women to chime in. They don't want women to say anything at all. So I do think that that's really based on perspective. But when you come out and you say blatant things like this, it's like you're looking for a carbon Barbie box, like when you make these types of statements. Because females could sit here and do the same thing, but females, I feel like females accept more, if that makes any sense. Like you say,
Mm.
men want respect, femininity, what chastity, cooperation. Okay, cooperation will make sense. That's a character trait. Youth, are you looking for babies? Like, what are you looking for? You see what I'm saying? Like beauty and
Well, I mean,
fertility.
the babies would be the fertility aspect.
Right. Or you're looking to have children with someone. Like to me, it's all about the approach in things, and when you approach things a certain way, you're gonna get certain results. When you say you're looking for fertility, you can go to the fertility clinic and get eggs. You can get test tube babies. Like it's there. If you can get technical with all of these things, but it's like, are you looking for a person? You see?
Okay.
That right there. That right there.
What?
That comment. That right
Which
there.
comment?
Baby, look. That's
Which
why I'm
comment?
glad I'm already locked down. Cause let me tell you something. If I was single at this particular time, baby, look, we ain't even got to worry about. I'll be a hoe. Okay, I don't got time. I can't.
Now,
Uh.
I'm with you,
This,
girl, on that because I am single. But let me tell you something. That don't even move me because a nigga like that, he couldn't even come my way. Like you
but that's
have
what I'm
to.
saying. Most of them talk like this, so I wouldn't even. Don't, sir. No, cause see the conversation of what do you bring to the table. I wish a man would look me in my face and ask me that question. I'm gonna have to get up and leave because my thought is to assault you, sir. Cause who the hell you talk to? Who you talk? What is wrong with you? If you got to answer that question, clearly you were not reared properly. Because if you don't know the intrinsic value of a woman, you ain't got no business in no woman's face. Okay, get out of her face and leave her alone. That's just not a question. I'm just not gonna answer. Some of the stuff they talk about in these spaces,
What did I miss? What's got y'all go? What y'all responded to? Because I done missed some.
Mr. Team Patterson, all of that foolishness, he just sat up there and said, baby, hell to the no. I
Yeah,
wouldn't
no.
be able to do it.
And
I
even
cannot.
yeah, even with me being single, I look at the mindset of somebody like that, and that tells a lot. That tells the level of maturity. That tells exactly where a man's mindset is. You're looking for a carbon Bobby box. You need to go buy your the robot ladies that they're selling online and have fun. Get your sex toys, have fun,
Okay.
be okay with that. But there are humans who exist in the world, and they might not always fall into every single trait that you have listed on your list. Like,
See, you see, friendliness, happiness. First of all, for you to even approach her, did she not exhibit these things? So you know, see,
Hold on, let
I
me go
can't.
ahead.
Mm-mm.
and then when a female is friendly and happy, then it becomes, oh, you smiling in niggas' faces. Like there's always
It's always something, girl. No, I can't. I can't. Mm-mm. Nope.
always something
Mm-mm.
to it.
I don't know what these is, but like this is the crazy part. I actually had a man on this dang on app want to assault the men in my life because I had men in my life. And I was like, look,
What?
this stuff y'all sitting up here talking about because I forgot what the man said to me, but I was like, look, let me tell you something. I said when it comes to men and how men treat women, I had men in my life. I had a father,
Me
I
too.
had both my grandfathers. I had uncles. I had
Brothers.
cousins. I
Yep.
had all these men around me, and they were men. Okay. I said, so
Mhm.
I know what manhood look like. And I said, some of the stuff y'all say to women, some of the way y'all treat women. I said, if y'all was to do any of the women in my family like that, yo, them men gonna ask you to step outside. Cause they about to slide you up and down the road. Cause you not gonna treat these women like that. I said, this stuff y'all doing, this is insane. And that man like, oh, I'm gonna come to your city and I'm gonna fight your cousin, your uncle. You gonna fight all the men in my family because I had men in my life. Like this, how insane these men are
But you
in
see,
this day and time. And baby,
love
look, I wouldn't be able to do it. I'm sorry, I
that
can't do it.
ain't no real man. Because first of all, he ain't got nothing else to do but to show up and try to fight somebody else in somebody else's city. First of all, and then second of all, Lil Richie actually made a great comment. Toxic men are looking for handouts. So sorry. Oh, my alarm is going off. Toxic men are looking for handouts and resources. And that's absolutely true. When a man asks me what I bring to the table, he's immediately disqualified. Why? Because that means you are not whole within yourself. You're looking for somebody to bring to you. Real men, they are the table. They are the table with or without a female adding to their life. Just like real women who handle themselves and operate in the world, they are going to exist with or without a man in their life. And when a man comes into their life, they're adding on to their life, just the same way as a man. A woman comes into a man's life, she's adding on to his life. A dude who's looking for a female to go 50-50, that means he don't got it 100% by himself. So he needs to take time to work on himself so he can become whole before he even decides to ask that question. Yeah, I call those loser questions. You asking me why I got to bring to the table? Of nothing, sir. You can sit 50-50 and look for somebody else to bring up the other 50s to the table.
Nothing.
Okay,
Don't
well, let me
bring
ask
nothing
you
to the
this real
table.
quick.
I ain't got shit for you.
All right. So with this whole you know what I'm saying, what do you bring to the table conversation? Another female content creator actually had a live stream on this, and she said that, you know what I'm saying, her perspective is women don't bring anything to the table, they dress the table. How y'all feel about that?
That's a
I don't
part
know
of,
what none of this the hell is. Okay.
to me, that's a part of bringing something to the table. That's a part of the
Damn,
quality
she like
of
all
the
these
woman.
other fuck y'all talking about.
No, that's a part of the quality of women. When women come into a man's life, they decorate it. They add something to their life. That's about who they are as a person.
Mhm.
There's nothing wrong with that. But also, there are women who already have their own tables and they leave their own tables to go decorate somebody else's table. If a man doesn't see the table decoration as value, then he needs to find another man who has his own table.
Got it. Okay.
But yeah, I like that concept
Yeah,
though.
that's what she was saying, Lil Richie. That's basically what she was saying. You're saying,
Right.
as a woman, we tie everything together.
100%. I do have to get ready to go to work. I really appreciate this conversation. And as usual, always super, super dope.
Thanks.
Much love and support to you.
Thanks.
Ladies,
See y'all
have
later.
a good day.
All right, Queen. Yo, listen, you was like, what the hell in the whole hell? But yeah.